Ooh, right. I will this meeting to order at 8:12 p.m. We'll begin with our first attendance roll call. When your name is called, please indicate that you're present. Starting with Senator ASUC. Not present. Senator O'Rourke. Here. Senator Beardsley. Here. Senator Cannon. Not here. Senator Cho. Not here. Chancellor Representative Udell.
Here.
Senator Golshani. Here. Senator McCara.
Yes.
Senator Naaman. Senator Mendez. Here. Senator Nunez Rivera. Not present. Senator Rivera. Not present. Senator Sanchez. Here. Senator Scott. Not present. Senator Solomon. Here. Senator Stanley. Here. Senator Reading.
Here.
Senator Danan. Here. Senator Time. Here. Senator Shui. Here. Senator Yang. Here. Great. So we'll go ahead and move on to recognition of Ohlone land. The ASUC recognizes that UC Berkeley sits on the territory of Houston, the original landscape of the Deschennies-speaking Ohlone people. The successes of the sovereign verb and Allegheny. This region continues to be of great importance to Wachuma Ohlone tribe and other familial descendants of the Burning Dam. We recognize that every member of the Berkeley community has and continues to benefit from use and occupation of this land since the institution founded in 1868. Consistent with our values of community, inclusion, and diversity, we have a responsibility to acknowledge and make visible the university's relationships with peoples. As members of the Berkeley community, it is vitally important that we not only recognize the history of the land we stand, but also we recognize that Wachuma Ohlone people are alive and flourishing members of the Berkeley community today. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and move on to having a moment of silence for Grace Darlow Asuncion. I want to kind of talk about the significance of why we do this. This is something that's written in our bylaws that we do yearly during this week. I don't know if a community or senator wants to speak on this or, yeah, Senator Cannon's not here. But let's go ahead and hold a moment of silence. In the meantime, I think that there's a blurb I'm going to pull up to kind of explain the significance of this moment of silence. So let's go ahead and start with the moment of silence. Yeah. Okay, you want to speak on it? Yeah. Oh, hi, we're about to do the moment of silence for Grace Darlow Asuncion. I was wondering, we can also do this later in the meeting if you want to kind of sit down and get settled in. But I was okay, perfect. Well, let's go ahead and do it. Okay, sounds good. We'll do it maybe after these two items. Okay, so we'll go ahead and move on to adoption of the agenda. I have a motion I'm going to put forward to move SR 25.655 to immediate consideration. Can I get a second? Second by Senator Reading. Are there any objections? Right, seeing hearing none, the agenda is amended to move that resolution to immediate consideration. Any other motions on the floor?
I motion to move SR 48 to immediate consideration.
Senator Beardsley moves to move SR 48 from consent calendar to immediate consideration. Item K on consent calendar and to immediate consideration. Is there a second? Second. Seconded by Senator Ty. Any objections? All right, seeing hearing none, the agenda will be amended to reflect that. Any motions on the floor? Yeah.
I motion to move SR 59 for immediate consideration.
Anything else to move SR 59 to immediate consideration as well? Is there a second? Second by Senator Reading. Any objections? All right, seeing hearing none, item E on new business will be moved to immediate consideration. Any other questions?
I motion to adopt the agenda as amended.
Senator Beardsley moves to adopt the agenda as amended. Is there a second? Seconded by Senator Mendez. Any objections? Seeing hearing none, the agenda has been adopted. So we have guest announcements today, so we'll move on to general public comment. Are there any members of public who are public comment? You come over to this side. And at this time, make a public comment relating to any pending business item on the consent calendar or immediate consideration. And speakers may not may not exceed 2 minutes, and speakers cannot yield their time at any point. And this portion of the meeting is dedicated to matters directly related to items that serve the ASUC at large. So you have to introduce yourself and then you have 2 minutes. I'll time it out when you have.
Awesome. Thank you, everybody. Derek Rodriguez again. I was here last meeting, discussing the rally that I'll be hosting on behalf of, Cal Dems on February 25th at 12 o'clock, Upper Sprout Plaza. Students are rallying to demand transparency, accountability, and federal oversight of immigration enforcement actions affecting our communities. So join us and sign the petition to advance concrete protections and oversight. I'm going to be handing around this flyer, just circulate it. You guys want to take a look at it, scan the QR code, please do so. Thank you, that is all.
Hi everyone, Nine Bell, Community and Student Fees. It's been a while since I've come up here and yapped for a bit, so I figured I'd start again. This time it's gonna be very short. Cal Performances is looking to procure a tax-tip grant. And one of the things that's recommended that units do to request this grant is to consult with an elected member in the ASUC or the GA. If any of you are interested, please talk to me after the meeting and I would love to connect you. If not, no pressure. And then I think I need to add this, I'm not sure. The Committee on Student Fees isn't necessarily endorsing the grant that TaxIP is putting forward. I'm just acting as a messenger between Cal Performances and you guys. All right, thank you. Have a good day.
All right, at this time, we'll go ahead and move on to response to general public comments. Is there any member of the Senate that would like to respond to general public comment? All right, so seeing and hearing none, let's go ahead and move back to item 3 of moving time for Grace Darlow Citizen. Senator Cannon, would you kind of like to you can have explain some things to make sense.
Hello, good evening, everybody. Thanks for being here. Before we begin our official business, I want to acknowledge the resolution that continues to shape how this body remembers, honors, and reflects. According to Senate Resolution 22-23-033, the ASUC pauses each year during the week of February 7th. Today's week for a moment of silence for the remembrance of Grace Wallace of Sean. The number of seconds corresponds to the number of years since her passing. This year, we will hold 34 seconds of silence. Grace was a UC Berkeley student, member of the Filipinx community, and someone whose life and legacy continues to matter deeply to many in this room and beyond it. This pause is not just a symbolic routine, but it is an intentional act of remembering her. It reminds us the policies we made and the communities we represent are rooted in real lives, real histories, and real responsibility. Yeah, for brief context for most of everybody, her life was tragically lost right here in this very building, February 7th, 1992. So as elected representatives, we are entrusted to honor her memory and legacy. This moment calls for us to lead with compassion and center student well-being and recognize that our work has been. So yeah, if you're able to, let's all rise. Let's all observe 34 seconds of silence and remembrance of Grace Wallace.
Now we'll go ahead and move on to our next item on the agenda, which is the reports. So we'll start with President Abdul.
Happy Wednesday, I think it's week 4. Week 4, happy week 4, made it this far, thank you all for being here against the answers, yeah. Okay, we're gonna go right into it, here's some updates, just wanted to share that, we've been able to kind of fulfill our work with EOP. I'll be starting as one of the primary sponsors for EOP's Wellness Fund application. Folks don't know, EOP has done a lot of work in trailblazing the first generation events, and they want to come to the committee with funding to be able to double, if not triple, the size and capacity of these events. So really excited to partner with them on that application, especially if I was also part of the Wellness Fund committee this year. So it's great to be able to sponsor another great initiative. This is an unfinished thought, really simply, the OP is continuously working with marketing transportation for our Peters candidate, and also working with them to see ways that we can make our city more safe in terms of, bike lanes, and also being, who here has a love-hate relationship with scooters. Yeah, so we're working on solutions for that as well. A lot of really big events coming up. Our academic and professional opportunities department is creating a professional development workshop series right here every Tuesday at 5:40. We want to invite all of you, your offices, your associates, interns, anyone in your communities that is looking for opportunities for professional development. It's a 7-week long series, and if you have consecutive attendance, you'll have priority when we do big visits to the city, for example, for law firms, sustainable businesses that are, supportive. Yes, and yeah, it'd be really great. So if you are interested, we'll always be here every Tuesday. You can reach out to myself. For folks who know Sumaya Rose, she's one of my executives, so I can also reach out to her. We're working on a lot of things for undocumented and international student support. So we're writing higher distribution across dorms and advocacy efforts legislation, tracking supporting undocumented international students. For RSO student board support, we're in discussion for RSO information with OBE, pieces of road and basis. Hopefully February 25th. And upcoming, we are planning to release RSO rights and privileges 1-page release. Our EGS target has been really credited. Working on community bridge collaboration, we were inspired by HSA, PAWS Student Business Association over our current work at PAWS. That's kind of how the community bridge, and we're also working on a lot of graphics and also working to do these collaborations to donate to environmental nonprofits. We also have a lunch drive scheduled for the 25th, so if you are in capacity or able to, we would love to see you there. And also some events I mentioned in the past, we have our record grant distribution event. Wanted to add on that because of the resolution that former Senator Leland passed. SWANA will be separate from the APOSD as EJC, so we're going to be including SWANA under the record distribution as well. And we have our Yale Law School panel with former 2-term president. If you're interested, you can find that on YouTube. Okay. So here's some past events that I was part of University Business Partnerships. I really thought we were going to talk about coffee, guys, and they talk about ski beer. So do you have any strong thoughts about, licensing for alcohol? If you're really against it, if you're really for it, if you think the branding is cute, but it's not these days for the coffee conversations too. But yeah, I'm going to talk about coffee. How to connect with the students, I think it was really great talking to her. We talked a lot about the Business Career Engagement Center, talked a lot about planning and steering how we want the ASUC and collaborations with the students office to work for the next remainder of the semester, just goal planning for all the different facilities in April. Had the wonderful opportunity to present at the Student Athlete Advisory Committee, so we didn't know Cal Athletics literally has a version of us, but for athletics. So it's really cool to get to know all the different student athletes that are also very interested in student government and just leadership in general. And I hope to extend an invitation to them to come here and present to you all as well. Really great folks, and it shows that, just beyond athletics, they also have passions for serving their communities and giving back to, communities that they. And we just had investment plans, so if you saw us on the board, we were just, peeking, no, just kidding, not seriously. But I also wanted to thank tomorrow morning, I have a meeting with the Chancellor's Cabinet. I just wanted to share out loud some of the agenda items that I had. Oh, sorry. Can we extend by 4? I have another thing too.
Senator Mamon moves to extend by 4 minutes. Is there a second? Seconded by Trans Representative Di Miguel. Any objections?
Thank you. So first for my agenda items, if you have anything pertinent that you'd like to be brought up, message me or send me an email, just so we can get this on the agenda because it's due date tomorrow at 9 AM. We're going to be discussing ongoing lawsuits, talking about the Vice Chancellor's Student Affairs Search Committee, which I will be part of with my counterpart in the Graduate Assembly, Sandra Osueda. So if you have any questions about that, let me know. Also trying to push forward our campus beautification project. So what it actually looks like to have #1 signage on at this university, also signifying that, to be the number one public university, we can't have trash on campus. So really bolstering the chances of having to have more to show on EJS related projects. And also wanted to talk about 350 million disbursement of reduced since that 350 million is up to each individual autonomous UC to see how many of that's made. So if any of that sounds of interest to you, or if you have any other points, please let me know before tonight at 9 PM. So yeah, sorry. Okay, cool. Yeah, I wanted to do a little quick poll. Okay, cool. So I just wanted to get a show of hands from our senators in the room. How many of you know what the Discovery platform is? Isha, okay, W2, okay, CFO, yeah. Okay, so no senators know what the Discovery platform is. And that's okay, I want to say. But essentially, this platform is something that admin already has up and running, and what essentially the office of president we're trying to do with our APOS department is to funnel opportunities from hundreds of databases and newsletters into this platform. And to make it accessible, our idea is to put the Discovery platform onto a tab here on House Central. So as you can see, you have my dashboard, you have my academics, my finances, my campus, and my opportunities. We would just add the Discovery platform as an existing tab within this central space, which is partly the platform. With that follow-up question, or with that being said, I wanted to ask a follow-up of you all. For the senators, if you could please raise your hand if you think that this would be useful for your communities, or if you think students would benefit from adding this tab onto the House. Okay, everyone, thank you. My APO executive is here today, I know she's not, she's sick. But if you have any questions, I can also try my best to answer them. But that's essentially the project we're working on. We want to see if it would be popular in the first place, because we don't want to connect with a database that you all don't think would be useful. But that's what we're working on, and hopefully this can be integrated in the next academic school year. So cool. Any questions for me? None. Okay, sounds good. Thank you all. Oh, sorry. Before I conclude, I just wanted to shout out, thank you, Sean, for reading the commemoration for Grace. And I also just wanted to highlight too, this is really the reason why, for me personally, it's so important to have a legislation, especially with the Senate states. I already passed the resolution for continuous commemoration of Grace Roloff. And for those who don't know the history, her plaque is actually here on the first floor of Eshman, if you want to read on her story, who she was. And the first Filipina president, she served in 2013 to 2014. She was one of the people on the community board of directors who really pushed for the renovations of this building. And keeping that in mind, Grace's story, that's why you have the different, stairs that, stop at certain floors, or why, elevators and part access. It's really understanding how we can protect the students. And it's so much deeper than, just saying her name. It's really deeply felt in the Filipino community here also. Really appreciate you all participating over the silence, and always know that a student's life is deeper than just their name, but have a living legacy, and you all have responsibilities as senators to uphold your community experiences, also show up and be a light to others in your community. So I know it's a very dark time, but I recognize that, we're all still here in the room together doing work, and that means something. So keep up the great work. We're really proud of you all, and this is all for grace. So, thank you.
Hi, everybody, these are my updates for this week. Starting with resolutions and events we got going on, so, thank you, passing the basic needs resolution last week. If you're a senator that was supposed to sit on the basic needs committee, you should have gotten an email, so please make sure you check it, so we can schedule our first meeting. It was sent from Maddie, my ledge director. And then amnesty and ethical eats resolutions are on the consent calendar tonight. The ethical eats resolution is essentially, to encourage ACC when we cater for events that we, oh, my died. Yeah, let me. Where's the one? Oh, right. It's essentially to encourage all units to adopt the ethical leaks list that Sustainability Commission establishes as the most like ethically sourced places to cater from. And then the Amnesty International resolution is brought from the organization Amnesty International. They're trying to pass them at a bunch of college campuses. And it's about students' rights, so you can read through that as well. And then I moved one resolution to immediate consideration. Please read through it. It's very important. It's a high level contract and it's pretty time sensitive, which is why I moved it to immediate consideration. Our Wall Street Journal contract expired in January. This re-signs us for 4 more years at an average of about 23 to 24,000 per year. It's a 4-year contract with a 2% increase per year. So we were able to negotiate with Wall Street Journal. They wanted to charge us a bit more. And our next steps on this are hopefully to encourage like campus partners and partners like the GA to help us share the cost of it because it is a free subscription for all students on campus, undergraduate and graduate. Awesome, and then yeah, please read through that because we're voting on it tonight. And then programming, we have an ACC alumni government panel next Tuesday, which I'm really excited about. We just posted this flyer on social media. The newly established ACC donor and alumni relations committee is co-hosting the event along with the Citron Center of Public Opinion. So they're gonna be talking about like what it was like to like be ACC officials and then now in actual government, and also what it is like to be in California politics today. So it's very exciting, and they're both running for a position right now. Like he's running for lieutenant governor. He's an assembly member, I forgot what he's running for, but yeah. And then we have absent possession officer. We'll talk about that in a sec. One exciting thing that we have going on with so we're hosting this with the CCO and CPO offices as well. There's an ACC-wide trivia night at Edmonds. So essentially, every office is gonna get to have a trivia team. And then we're gonna like, we're gonna like fight each other, and like one office is gonna win and get a prize, and it's gonna be really fun. And a great opportunity for like cross-office kind of collaboration across the ACC. Plus, we're gonna be donating all the profits that we raise from it to an organization. Still determining what it is. We're thinking something like mutual aid for immigrant or legal defense for immigrants right now. But if you have any ideas for where the prosperous that fundraiser can go, let me know. And please think about getting trivia teams together. It'll be next month. And then we're doing a social and fundraiser at 1951 Coffee March 6th. I said, sorry, I feel like I'm taking a long time today, guys, but something like weird, or not weird, something interesting happened today. Basically, so I told you guys last week that intercollegiate athletics wanted the blue gym from the RSF. Like they wanted like kind of like co-ownership of it essentially. And the Rec Board of Governors like voted no on that proposal unanimously, but intercollegiate athletics still wants access to the blue gym because there's a donor that's interested in like expanding the basketball program. So now one interesting exciting thing coming out of this is like potentially we'll have opportunities to negotiate for more space on campus in other places. So we discussed today maybe opening up the Recwell studio on Bancroft and Shattuck to be like 3 floors. Right now it's just 1 floor because there's multiple floors in the building. And also like maybe putting like a large dome like RSF expansion thing over the Edwards track. So if you guys are interested in that, let me know. It was like an emergency meeting on 8:30 a.m. this morning. I found out about yesterday. Because they're really trying to move fast on this. So if you have any thoughts about where we could compromise on more space on campus, let me know, because this is like a very exciting thing that like there might be some willingness to kind of ask for more space on campus because that's very rare. Yeah, and then we're getting a new student lounge in New York, creating a bunch of furniture for that. Let me know if you guys have any ideas for what we should call it. It's gonna be like sort of like a commuter student lounge. We're not fully, we're gonna have lockers, but there's not gonna be microwaves or fridges. So I don't know if we should call it commuter student lounge, or like, if you guys have any other ideas, let me know. I have a motion to extend time by 2 minutes.
Motion to extend your time by 5 minutes.
Senator Golshon moves to extend time by 5 minutes, there's second, seconded by Senator Solomon, any objections? Great. And then, we're also doing projects to hopefully make other stages more sustainable with the collaboration with Cal Zero Waste, because there's a lot of like trash around that area usually, especially during move out and move in for RSOs. Hopefully we'll have some future Cal Zero Waste stuff going on. Okay, ASUC, yay, it's due March 5th. We have an info session February 18th. I think that'll be the only one. I don't think February 25th is gonna be happening, so make sure like to tell your communities to come to February 18th info session. And then we're having office hours listed every Monday from 7 to 8 and Tuesday from 8 to 9. This is the Zoom link, so if you want to share with folks, and this is the ASUS website, it has information. You can reach out to the Spaces Director Clara or Jonathan's office with questions about ASUS. This is a big interest to all your communities, so. Chancellor meeting, okay, it's confirmed, we confirmed the dates finally. We're gonna have a social hour with the Chancellor on March 2nd, from 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. So that's gonna be in the Senate chambers, and it's just gonna be ASUC, officials and like, you know, heads of commissions and charter programs and judicial council and things like that. And that'll be Monday for an hour, and then on that same Wednesday, we're gonna have the formal meeting open to the whole public. We're still changing the structure as we have been discussing, so it'll be more informal. And more like based on like getting solutions together. I'm gonna send out a Google form by the end of the week. Please fill it out ASAP, but I'm thinking the way we can structure this is like having 3 main like conversation topics for the night and then kind of structuring the conversation around that. But if you guys have any thoughts, you can let me know right now or text me after. That's what it will be. These are some meetings I had this week. Exciting stuff going on, you can read through, and that's kind of all my updates. So are there any questions? Yeah.
I was just wondering for the Wall Street Journal contract, on average, like, how many students actually make use of, that research?
Yes. I have like information and data that they sent us. Off the top of my head, it's about 11,000 out of 40,000 students activate. New York Times is a bit more. And I have like a more detailed breakdown. So maybe like during this meeting sometime, before we vote, I'll try to email that information. You guys need to see these numbers. Any other questions? Okay, awesome. Thank you guys so much. All right. Next up, we'll have our academic affairs vice president, Jenny Tran. Oh, also, anybody who's presenting slides tonight, please email them to senateadmin@asuc.org so that we can link them on the agenda for the public.
23,000.
Hi guys, long time no see. Sorry, last week I was in front, yes, and then the week before that, I was so I'm glad to see y'all again. I'm gonna be on next week once more, so you can see Dylan again next week. Yeah, alright, so meetings, I had a gubernatorial debate connection, with Kale this week. Actually, I don't think I've provided this update, so that might be like super random news to y'all. So my office got a inquiry from the Berkeley School of Education in partnership with the PACE Center, its policy analyst for California education, to do a gubernatorial debate, so a governor's debate, next year in August, around the topic of higher education and K-12 education. And so we're working with that team, the Berkeley School of Education, and then also the Policy Center, as well as our BSE student government, ASAP, which is an RSO on campus, to host that. We were gonna get more details, but just a quick update about that. And we also had a meeting with the student union to discuss course materials, which I'll talk about a little bit later. Some upcoming meetings, meeting with the Chancellor and EDC P. Hermelin. I have a standing meeting with the academic executive chair. I have a meeting with the PAC AI, so Program Advisory Committee on AI. We're gonna be presenting our finalized campus-wide AI policy slash connection. Yeah, and then I have CAPRA as well for May. Cool. So this is a list of AAP policy advocacy updates for the spring, the things that we'll be working on. Most of these things you will recognize, and I'll explain two of them. The actually it's the oh, it's faculty adoption rates. So I'm meeting with the student union, talk about how faculty don't ever upload their study materials, so textbooks, readings, etc. onto the official website where you're supposed to. It's like a 60% upload rate. So have any of you ever gone to like Copy Central to get those big books? They're like, yeah. So you don't need to do that. With the partnership that we have with Barnes and Nobles for the student store, and then also just with student union resources, your professors could technically upload all those materials online for you to print somewhere on campus, or were you just hold digitally, but it requires licensing that faculty don't really adhere to. So we're hoping to convince the academic senate and just like administration on campus to raise these adoption rates and encourage faculty adoption of course materials. So you guys don't have to do that and carry these big papers around. And you can get these materials online and also have a centralized database of all of the textbooks and books and etc. that you have to get throughout the year, instead of buying them off like Kindle or Amazon. Yeah. Any questions on anything that's up here? So, some committees. So, the Student Risk Committee is asking for 2 ASUC senators. Their meetings are on Wednesday at 2 p.m. and the committee focuses on AOD reduction and safety off campus. Would be really cool if you guys could email me if you're interested in these topics, since they're on these committees. And or if you have any staff members, senior staff, any staff actually at all, that would be interested, that would be really nice. So looking for 2 to 3 students to serve on the committee. And then our transfer student on the admissions enrollment preparatory education academic senate committee is able to meet her meetings this semester, and so we're looking for a transfer student to also sit on this committee. The meetings are for APE at 10 to 12 a.m. on Fridays, bi-weekly, and then my all staff meetings, if she can make these as well, whoever is willing to make these as well, is 8 to 9:30 p.m. just so that it can provide updates and keep us up to date with policies, and we're able to advocate for this issue area. If any of you have a transfer student particularly that's interested in serving on this committee, please email me. Yeah. Cool, that's it. Any questions? Thank you.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
So pass the mic because the other ones are better.
yeah.
Just a quick clarifying question for the board, for those of you who work there, you guys.
It would need to be somewhere in the first like 2 weeks of school. Next fall. Yeah, next school year. Yeah, that's. Anything else? Ooh, thank you guys.
So I also just sent you all the Wall Street Journal numbers. It's 13,050 users. Okay. Is it SAO next? Yes. Okay. Next up, we have SAO Brittany Steven.
Okay, hi everyone, I'm good and doing well. And I also hope this time of semester didn't get too rough. I know a lot of people are starting to have midterms, and I hope that's also going well for you all. But yeah, I do have updates for you all tonight. The first one is just the meeting that I attended this past week. We had our first new hire jam and policy fair, so we welcomed all of our new hires to the jam, and they got the chance to get to know our office a little bit more, and all of their fellow case workers, and we also had a policy fair. We have external facing policies that you guys are all familiar with, like GAPS and STSF, but we also have 14 internal policy initiatives that are all led by policy coordinators within the office and caseworkers themselves. So they got the chance to join policy projects and just like learn more about our internal policy work. Also just like in a lot of internal meetings, SEO directors, chiefs. We had the SEO last week, and then also connected with the RDs and folk, the previous like student staff and pro staff as well. With Mikhail, also met with Jada's office, today to discuss digital collaboration and what that will look like. And then the greens director was in my office also, met with Adele, I don't know where he went, but met with him today too. This past weekend, we were doing interviews and deliberations for our new hires, just spending the whole weekend doing that. Also had executive appointments earlier, yeah. Just general updates on like recruitment. We have welcomed all of our new hires to our office, now holds over 90 student caseworkers. And here's the hiring breakdown for the semester. We hired 5 caseworkers in academic, 3 in conduct, 5 in finance, and then 3 in grievance. Our office does have continuity, which is why we're at 90, but we only hired so little this semester. But they're all super chill, and I'm super excited to just expand our services, especially since we've been seeing so many new cases coming in, especially for academic. And then next, just updates following up on some of the things that I discussed last week, meeting the RDC to discuss alternative options for the organization. Also, EOP phone banking, update on that. Thank you to everyone who's already been like posting our graphic. It's been circulating a lot, so I really appreciate it. But we phone banked this week from on the 9th and the 10th, which is yesterday and the day before. And again, this is a project that we work on in partnership with EOP, which we help unenrolled students re-enroll with the university, and last year we awarded over $38,000. So yeah, we're happy to go to that in the calls. We already made a couple hundred so far, so I'm super excited to complete all of the calls and just help students get re-enrolled to the university. And if you haven't reposted, please repost it. It's super helpful, and there are a lot of formal avenues in which unenrolled students can figure out about this grant, so reposting it is super helpful. Outside of that, yes, just information about our services. And then also just wanted to note, I've been getting like a lot of emails from a few senators, but y'all have been sending it to my casework email, which I do not utilize anymore. I don't do casework anymore, so unless you're opening a case, please email this email, which is admin@seo.asuc.org. I have another one that's like Brittany@seo.asuc.org. Hello, but I do not use that anymore, so please email this one instead of my other one that pops up when you just say Brittany. Yeah, that's all. Thank you. Does anyone have any questions? Beautiful, thank you all.
Next up, we have AAVP component meeting, someone here to present for the AAVP office. All right, seeing none, we'll go ahead and move on to appointed officer report. First up, we have CFO Jonathan Nutt. Yay! Nobody's done.
Ran out the door.
We just left.
They'll probably be back.
You don't want to present. Okay, next up, we've got, we'll circle back to him. Next up, we got CPO Shelby Coleman.
Who's back?
Oh, you missed your shoots. We'll get out there. That's right. And yes, if you're any commissions, appointed officers, anybody, please share your slides, send an admin@asuc.org. But you'll present them from your own computer. That's just for the agenda.
All right, hi guys, James. All right, first up, recruitment. I've got a lot of recruitment coming up for this year and next year. And a reminder, all application links are in ASUC personnel bio, and they'll be in the ASUC's Instagram bio as well soon. So first up, elections council, we have 4 positions open: campaign liaison, and then assistant for the public defender, prosecutors, and auditor. So that closes on the 20th, it is open now. Judicial council, this one's already been open for a week or so, but there's one seat open, so to fill the remainder of this term, and that closes this Friday the 13th. And then, chief appointed officials, so if this right here is so exciting to you. That's gonna open next Tuesday, because Monday's a holiday, and close the following Friday, so that would be the 27th. And then that's gonna be for all 5 chief appointed officials for next year. And then just a reminder, I'm always available to chat about recruitment, open positions, that kind of thing, because the ASUC is so much bigger than just the Senate and execs and appointed. There are so many, I think, in my opinion, like underutilized positions and areas. So just keep that in mind when you're thinking about your future plans or those in your office, if their future involvement, always happy to chat. Then miscellaneous, awesome, the commission chairs are here, reminder, spring commission summit is next Saturday, super important, you have at the very minimum, at least one of your co-chairs present. We're gonna be talking about ASUC, and then succession plans and a lot of other important things, we will have food, so just super important, keep RCPing for that. Admin office oversight will be meeting next Wednesday, hiring for next year for that will also open soon, so I'll provide updates once those positions are open. Reminder to keep submitting your rosters due on the 18th, let me know if you need an extension, like if you happen to still be holding recruitment, but I think for most of you, I've seen that you've closed, so those spring rosters. Final call, PR stuff from fall, this is really overdue at this point, so just get them in. Some other things I've been up to, as EVP mentioned, the admins, the GovCom execs and appointed, elections councils in full swing, we're meeting weekly, and then a reminder of the impact track, so we can talk about this in a minute, but a reminder to continue to fill that out every time you post an event or complete an initiative. Because also the webmaster is in Octo, they're finishing integrating that, so soon it's gonna be appearing on the website, so I don't want you, if you've been having events, for you to not appear on the public facing website, so make sure you are filling that. And then I'm just gonna give some quick updates on how loud you can see since they're unable to join us tonight, they had their general meeting yesterday. They're having a gala on the 3rd of April, their wellness fairs going on, they tabled previously for Narcan. And they have another initiative with fentanyl strips and condoms. And then just a reminder, and this goes for all the commissions, a lot of you guys have overlapping like areas of policy in that, so I just encourage you all to get more involved with the commissions, they're an awesome resource. Okay, any questions? No, yeah, that's pals. All right, any questions? Okay, thanks guys. Awesome.
All right, and we'll go ahead and move on to CFO Jonathan Nye.
Screen mirroring, or is it like?
It depends on your computer settings. Depends on what your computer settings are.
I have a PC.
Right.
See if it works.
I think it's screen mirroring. Just try to. Yeah, you can share with
You
me.
can also do that. Oh, you do like a content.
Oh, there it is.
Okay, look at
Hey.
this. Okay, cool.
Here you go.
Yeah, sure. Wait, I'm waiting for. Hi y'all, welcome to your report, you're doing well and staying warm. So for today's report. I forgot a bullet point, but it's okay. Just gonna go over some finance file updates we are cooking up, and then an overview of ASUC, which is what budget review is about. And then I'll probably have some time to talk about our different departments and a grant repository overview, which is the project we're working on. Maybe anywhere from 2 to 4 weeks, maybe 6 weeks from now. But yeah. I have Monique, who is my lead inspector, and Will, who is my budget department lead, here with me today, so they will be talking about the bylaw updates and ASUC respectively. So yeah, we'll start with an overview of bylaw updates.
Hi guys, I'm Monique, so I'll go over the updates a little bit. So basically, most of the updates were made just for people to be able to understand the wording of them more clearly. So for 2150 revisions, we distinguish between waivable and non-waivable restrictions. We also updated some restrictions on retreat, merch, gifts, honorariums, etc. And we removed some outdated restrictions from 2150 as a whole. And for 2201 revisions, we made an update removing references to a funding and sponsorship director position, which is just kind of something we don't use anymore.
And for 2202 revisions, we increased caps on first, second, and third year orders to adjust for inflation, also increased demand. And for 1402, we clarified the languages on CFO's responsibility over financial data. For 2201, we updated some language over ASUC operational funds. And then finally, for 1221, we updated some language on implementation and scope of different FICO funding opportunities.
And then next, we'll go over some ASUC dates. So, yeah, okay. So yeah, everyone pay attention. I know a lot of words, want to fall asleep, but please pay attention. Because these are pretty much all the deadlines. And we at OCFO don't have that much capacity. So either you make the deadline or you don't go with me. But yeah.
Okay, hi guys, I'm Will. I'm the department lead for the Department of Budget Management, in OCFO. Like Jonathan said, these are all really important. If you guys ever want to come back and look at them, they're gonna be on the APSA website. It's literally like, I think it's like ASUC/APSA. And as we, schedule rooms for things, that will get updated as well. So if you wanna, once that location is no longer TBD, the room will be on there and, you guys can see that there. So really quickly going over APSA, I'm sure you guys all know what that is, but just to rehash, it's the annual budget and spaces allocation. It's how you get money. It's great. This Monday, this coming Monday, February 16th, is when it opens. It opens at 8 a.m. It'll be on Cali via forum. You can find it there. There will be a number of office hours for the next 3 weeks. Myself and the spaces director will be hosting office hours. And Clara, she's great. There will also be an info session in this very room a week from now at 7 p.m. It's going to be super helpful. It's going to be awesome. We're going to have a great time. More office hours. It's wonderful. There's going to be ASUC specific APSA office hours because we care about you guys so much. The location for that will be TP, but it will also be on Zoom. The excellent CFO is going to be leading that in theory, tentatively. And then most importantly, it is due at midnight on March 4th. There's no late submission, so please get that in. Super important. We're gonna move on now. Yeah. Right. Okay, some tips for APSA. Really quickly, go to the office hours. Like they're there for you guys to use them. Please go to the office hours. It'll help us out. It'll help you out. It'll be great. And the info session, which like I said, I believe there's gonna be one here in a week. It's gonna be great. Put more info rather than less when we are going through these. It's super helpful to have as much info as possible, as much detail as possible, because it helps us do our job. It helps us be like, okay, what's really going on here? It helps us get to the root of the matter. Double check your numbers, make sure they're correct. We keep talking about what if someone accidentally types an extra zero and then all of our calculations, everything, it's like, oh my God, we have to figure that out. So just double check your numbers when you're about to submit the form, make sure everything looks right. You can email these two awesome emails. One of them I look at a lot. The other one is not me, but other people in the OCFO handle that. Don't email this one. Don't do that. As far as how the application handling is going to go. So we have kind of developed a little stage process for this. If there's a minor error, like, okay, if you guys do put that extra zero, if there's a minor error, we're going to try and infer, we're going to try and fill in blanks. We have some brains, we have some pretty smart people over in budget at the OCFO, and I think we can figure some stuff out. If it's unreadable, we're going to put it in a pile to review after we finish all the readable applications. I'm sure you guys aren't going to ever be that bad. Like, you guys know what you're doing. And then if we still can't read it after we return to those, it's going to be thrown out. So just make sure it's legible, make sure we can figure it out. That pass the mic on over to you.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you, Will. And to clarify, so for dedicated sessions, I know a lot of communities want a dedicated session, either with like a caucus or like a group of RSOs to go through APSA with me. If the way we're gonna do dedicated sessions is first come, first serve, and we do have limited hours available across me and my entire budget department. If you're interested in that, it's the same two emails. AskOCFO@ASUC.org. So that one is an email group that blasts like every single relevant department in CFO. So that blasts me, that blasts my chiefs, that blasts the records department, that blasts the budget department. That's just a good email to have, where like if you want to contact OCFO, but you don't know who to contact on call, oh my gosh, bro, who to contact for what,
then hit the email blast.
Sorry.
Oh, yeah,
Time.
I like.
Time extension, question.
I would extend time by 2 minutes.
Senator Time moves to extend time by 2 minutes, seconded by Senator Solomon. Any objections?
Yeah, add the CFO blast every single, pretty much everyone in the CFO that oversees a specific function or department. So that's for email to email if you want something from CFO or think something should move to CFO, but you're not sure who exactly. And then budget is the email specifically for Will, and the budget department, so they're gonna be the ones answering a lot of the active budget. There's also APSA at ASUC.org, that one works, that one goes to me. But you know, that will be equivalent as blasting as from CFO, because oftentimes with those, I think defer out different departments, and then different departments pick and handle specific needs. Yeah, so first come, first serve for community specific sessions. So please email earlier rather than later. Let us know if there's specific questions or topics you want us to address. Otherwise, we'll probably just have like a general slide deck that we use. Although a lot of folks still find the general slide deck helpful. Let us know if there's like a balance of time, like if you want to do more lecturing and info section versus if you want to do more Q&A, let us know that as well. But yeah, again, OCFO will be very impacted over ASUC season. It will take us time to respond to questions and scheduling. So it does, and I know like sometimes things will come up last minute. In those cases, just like email as quick as you can, do what you can, and like see, and we'll try to get back to you as quick as you can. But that is just if you can plan ahead, try to plan ahead. Like me personally, my availability, other than the sessions you saw. Maybe like other than sessions you saw earlier here, where I'm either directly hosting a session or supporting my budget department in hosting sessions. I honestly don't have like proper availabilities until February 27th right now, which is like only like less than a week out from the actual APSA deadline of March. My budget department is going to be more free if you want them to lead an info session, and they're in some ways more qualified than I am to do that. So if you are interested in a community specific session or any kind of like a session, or I don't know, if you just want to please say a little earlier rather than that's it. Question?
Yeah, there's one on the central table too. Next time we'll do that.
My question was, can we get more definition of the specifics for the 21-22 and like what exactly is leading up to the
Yeah, do you want me to like
or it just
right
like
now, or
it doesn't have to be like super but it's like
yeah, sure. So like, for example, I mentioned some old restrictions being removed. For example, one of them was like stationary, where there was a clause about, oh, you can't be averse stationary unless you have the ASUC logo on it. That was something where like we weren't really seeing that restriction being used anymore, like being an active constraint. So that was something where like, okay, that's just like something clubs have to think about that they really don't need to most of the time. Let's just repeal that. There was like another restriction about like, oh, you can't do like local events that are like past Ashby Avenue, even though we have a restriction for like travel outside the Bay Area. So that was like, okay, well, that's like duplicated. So we removed that. So all the restrictions are the same. Other than that, all the restrictions are the same. We just second them out to waivable versus non-waivable. So for example, single-use plastic water bottles was like with no exceptions for waivers, was the previous language. So we just moved that into the non-waivable section. Retreats also moved to the non-waivable section. That has historically past CFOs have just treated that as non-waivable anyway. So those are kind of the more specific ones. And the bigger ones, yeah. I should also add, there's probably going to be an operational policy that I'm going to write that provides additional, based on when the bill comes through, but in the language, they'll be like, oh, see finance 004 for additional examples. That's going to be an op policy that I write that just provides more specific examples. That's where stuff like, like merch and whether or not that's a gift comes in, or honorariums. Yeah. Any other questions? Yeah.
They're working? No?
Well,
Okay.
I think that's realize they're doing that, they'd be able to come out of the fund, it would be very hard to be able to contextualize a little what we would be able to request from the fund, so that we can avoid asking for anything that's not on this we just listed about what would it be possible to fund and always looking pieces like what actually is possible to fund the fund if we submit the application.
So is your question, like, could you get clarifying information?
Yeah.
On what is like appropriate to request in
Yes,
ASUC?
yes.
Okay, I mean, I think the best answer for that is to go to office hours, because it's very case by case, right? Like if you're an organization, like, for example, if you're an organization that somehow spent $6,000 on rideshare, right? That can look very strange and random to us without context, but maybe you're like, oh, we're like a local Bay Area community service group, and we, we build arts and crafts for kids, and like these are usually like, like very large arts and crafts things that are delicate, so we just do ride share. That way it's more delicate, because it's more delicate and we don't want to break it. Like, that's like an example where like a transaction that would look really weird without contextualizing info, like 6,000 for Ubers, suddenly supposed to be like, oh, that makes sense. Because like, oh, it's like a critical part of your operations, you're transferring delicate goods. So, it makes sense why you're not using public transport and you want to do ride sharing. So, that's like one example. I think, like another example, I think works really well is like, I think like anything with food, like food is technically restricted, but like talk about the events that need food and stuff like that regardless. I think like the general advice I would give is go to office hours for a specific question and specific case. And then in general, if you made an expense, like I trust that you probably made it for like a decent reason. Like the main thing you want to avoid is like in that case, if you like, did $6,000 of Ubers and you're like, oh, that's gonna look weird. So let's like not talk about it and try to like, slip it by the CFO. We're just gonna see 6K and be very confused and then probably dock you because we think you like spent poorly. But in that case, like you might have a very reasonable reason why you spent that. So like what I find oftentimes talking with our associates, they often have reasonable and understandable reasons for why they spent expenses that in a vacuum seem a little weird. So like, that's why I always tell you to write more, because you never know if something is like relevant. So just always write more and try to like, you probably have a reason, just talk about the reason and you'll probably be fine. So,
If there's any more questions, we need a motion to extend time. Any more questions? Great, yes, please, office hours, please come to the info session on next week before Senate. And yes, thank you, CFO team, amazing. Yeah, and that finance bill will be going to FICOM and GovCom, and it's pretty hefty, so those committees, please make sure you review it. Okay, next up, we'll be doing our CLO, Daniel Dolan. Yay.
Should I have a mic? Then
Not really good ones. Sorry. Oh, here.
oh shoot.
All right, y'all.
How the
So I
frick-
promised I meant to do slides today and just genuinely have been doing a bunch of stuff today, so it didn't work. But I want to bring this up as proof of concept of what we're talking about for these items. This is last year's final Senate meeting resolution. Or not resolution, agenda. If you could scroll down to the consent calendar and community business. Keep scrolling. Keep scrolling. Keep scrolling.
Oh, I remember this.
There were 33 resolutions on that agenda last year at the end of the semester. So I'm coming to you in February rather than April and asking, I'm sure lots of you have ledge teams who are working on resolutions, stuff like that. Just a simple plea so that this does not happen in May. Please just come talk to me, my details open, and I have a fully trained ledge team now that can talk to you about your resolutions. Let us not cram this all in the end of the semester and then send whatever doesn't work to ISC, but actually just make the changes you want to see happen while you're still in your turns. So that's just a simple plea at the start before we go into the season. Also, I figured I'd add this because of what Shelby said, and I think it's a good idea, so I'm gonna steal it. I've been around for a bit. If you want to talk about anything, just let me know that too. But yeah. Okay, now some other stuff. I am stealing some elections updates from our wonderful elections chair, Brian Javier. So, as I'm sure you guys saw in SR 25-26-054, we're deploying that campaign timeline we talked about last week. We also have the elections timeline finalized. So we're gonna have two information sessions, one this Friday, February 13th, and another on next Tuesday, the 17th. The Friday one will be 3:30 to 4:30. And Thursday one will be, or not Thursday, the Tuesday one will be 6 to 7. Both of them will be in the Senate chambers. I'll learn something to do it. Okay, big thing I want to talk about. Propositions and referenda, right? So we're doing the election, that means you vote for candidates or people like that. We're also going to be approving, in the next few weeks, there'll be resolutions in the Senate for adding referenda and propositions to the ballot. So if anyone in this room is working on a constitutional amendment or has student fee up that has been approved by UCOP and permissible, because it has to have gone through that first to levy student fee, then please just come talk with me and my team by, I'm just saying this arbitrarily, February 20th. We have the timeline up, so filing is going to open on March 2nd, but just so we have enough time to work out any issues, any things that need to be fixed with your language, things like that. And then that way they can actually get on the ballot. I don't want things to get clogged up and then just your thing can't make it on the ballot, because you have an idea, it doesn't be voted on. Shelby already talked about this, but Jake has an open seat. I'm also doing stuff with judicial council, more on that to come. And the other fixes have already kind of been talked about by Shelby on the new bill that you all have read and we're voting in tonight. But it should make things a lot more easy, and we'll talk about them more at the election information session. Oh, and finally, I thought about this like halfway through the meeting. I went to go ask admin office. Monday is President's Day, so we will not have admin office at a computer checking at noon for your bills. So we worked out a solution. We'll just push it, and it follows the Brown Act, kind of. Basically, submit your bills by Tuesday at noon instead. It follows a special meeting consideration, and they'll be on the agenda. So we're pushing the deadline one day later because admin office will not be at the computers checking Monday at noon. So Tuesday at noon, just for this week. Any questions, anything I mentioned? Cool, thank you all.
When he was like, pull up this up for proof of concept, the last Senate agenda from spring, I was like, what is the concept to prove? But it's quite a good point. All right, next up, we've got CCO, Giselle. Yay. Mhm. Oh, yes. I'm like, I feel like you're not in the room. So true. Reason. Oh my God, no, that's. Hello. Oh, no. Oh. Hello, everybody. So you guys are having a great day, and now I need you guys to get sleep. Updates for me, so the rest we're done, we ended up actually opening up our hiring process for my office, so we're almost done, and then now acceptances, rejections on Friday. The elections info session graphic was posted. I hope to see you all there. You guys are gonna run again, etc. Upcoming things. This Friday we have a meeting. Jonathan and I will be attending. Jonathan will be, Franco will be attending. I have a meeting with ASUC alumni to see if there's a potential way that we can extend benefits from the Cal alumni to the ASUC Alumni Association, so that's gonna be a really interesting conversation. I'm very excited about that. Still working on the welcome back newsletter for the ASUC Alumni Association. We'll keep going behind on that, but I'll get started on that. My assignment is working on the chief opening application graphics and the ACC town hall graphic, and next week I think I'm gonna have the meeting with the Edmonds Club with Shelby and Toby, whatever that is. And then yeah, I'm gonna get started on the ACC election voter guide graphic, just getting their phones and statuses and all that good jazz. But that's all. Also, happy Valentine's Day weekend if you guys celebrate, and if you don't, go buddy. As an intern, all day LA. Anywho, here's my concept info if you guys need me for anything. And also shout out to everybody who's been taking drinks from me. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, Olipop.
Oh, Olipop, sorry, but hashtag for prebiotics. Okay, okay.
Great. All right, is somebody here from the CTO office to present? Okay, we'll go ahead and move on to our next item, which is administrative office reports. We have our admin office general manager here. Yay! Not feeling the hype. You know what, Giselle, you're right. That is lovely. It's lovely. Let's celebrate. Like, I feel like there's no Valentine's stuff this year. Oh, plan you guys have them.
Ooh, spoiler.
Oh.
Oh,
There you go.
oh, okay, that's good. Yay, updates.
So we have a new assistant going on, and her name is Audrey, make sure to say hi to her, she's going to be, working with XCOM, and yeah. Next one, last minute room reservations, again, we wanna emphasize that especially for the Senate chambers, you needs to approve all of the Senate chambers. Requests, so please allow at least like 5 to 7 days for Senate chamber requests. And also general rooms, just making sure that we have everyone booked into a room. And also double booking. So we've had some issues with people saying that we double book, but this just goes on people not reading their actual confirmation emails. So please read your confirmation email. It says detail life specific which days you have that room and what times, because we do try to get everyone in that specific confirmation email will detail when you actually have that reservation. Yes, and if someone comes in asking, if they got their room booked and they have confirmation, please leave it. Bookable rooms, so, video is, available for a subscription, but only for association related meetings. RSOs may request they be directly through event services 21 days prior, so please do not like allow RSOs to kind of use you as a loophole for booking debut. Room five, your Senate lounge or room 544 is reserved only for ASUC officials during this specific time. Website updates, Tommy is not doing well in Boston, unfortunately, it is snowing, but he is, you know, he's doing the best that he can. But he has, opened the form for, website changes, so make sure you have that, will you look at that on Slack? So for any website use. Senior goals, so I'm pretty sure most of you, some of you are seniors, there's an email that came out about senior goals, make sure you scan the QR code. And order your stoles, and be sure to pick up your stoles as well, just to make sure that we're not using the stoles are really expensive. And yeah, and you shall receive 4 different emails confirming and also specific updates in regards to your stole after it's been tested. Is there any questions tonight?
Okay, hi, I don't, it's okay if you don't know this question, but you know, around how long it'll take for the souls to get shipped and be here?
So 40 to
I hate, so I'm hoping that I can get the schools to you all before spring. That's the hope. I just sort of have to go for it first bit, once I close the form for everyone. And then Jocelyn and I check to make sure that everyone on that list is actually able to for schools, and then I can the order and actually send it to a third party, to be able to order me, and just a whole game be responsible, I can get them the week more. And that helps, we all the issues.
Any other questions? Awesome.
All right, we'll go ahead and move on to our commission chair reports. So we're gonna start with the Cultural and Diversity Affairs Commission. Let's give them a hand. Hi everyone, hope everyone's doing well. Again, my name is Allison, I'm the chair of CDAC. So just sharing, with monthly updates. So just in general, what we've accomplished, we finished our recruitment cycle for the semester. Happy to announce that we have 6 new commission members. So we're really excited to get started, with planning events. With them, we had our first all commission meeting this past Monday, which I think went really well. We did a lot of groundwork with getting like logistics planned out for upcoming events. Speaking of upcoming events, these are just a few of the things that we have in the works right now. So first thing that we're planning is a mahjong night for Lunar New Year. Potentially collabing with Mental Health Commission. I spoke to the external director about that. So hopefully we'll be able to hash that out soon. Sometime in late February. If any of your offices are interested in potentially collaborating with that in terms of just providing like staffing or funding or just like anything that you would like to be involved with, please reach out. Second thing is, I'm sure you guys got this email as well, but Cal Pre-Dental reached out to host an event related to diversity, equity, inclusion in the pre-health fields. So they imagine it would be some sort of like networking / like social connections event. So that would be in late March, early April. We had a meeting on Tuesday. I'm just kind of like going over just sort of the introductions of that. But the goal of this event would just be to really highlight the importance of diversity across different healthcare fields. So not just like dental, but also like medical, opto, all those things, and then fostering connections between all the different like pre-health clubs on campus. So they can kind of exchange resources and experiences to really like uplift each other and support each other in their like applications to grad school, internships, all that good stuff. Again, if you guys are interested in collabing, please reach out to myself, and then I can connect with Cal Pre-Dental as well. And then the third thing, really exciting, I just connected with someone who's working to create a women and AFAB caucus for the 2026 school year. I know that a lot of communities on campus have like a caucus, like the Southeast Asian caucus, the Asian caucus. So she was really interested in being able to create a caucus specifically for women and AFAB individuals. And I think that she might have reached out to the community guys as well. But I think it would be really great to be able to get like a designated caucus for women's issues. But so if you guys are interested in that, please reach out to me at czac@asuc.org, and I can connect kind of all of us together. Because she's really excited about this, and I'm also really excited about it. Any one of you can reach out. You don't have to like have specifically like women's issues on your platform, just like if you're interested at all. But yes, those are kind of the main things that we have going on. Any questions?
Thank you so much. So exciting. All right, next up, we've got Housing Commission. Yay. Is Housing Commission in the house? Sick? Oh, they're sick, okay. All right, until next time. All right, and the next we've got Sustainability Commission. Sustainability Commission in the greenhouse. They're also sitting. Guys, stay safe out there. All right.
It's the rain.
It's the rain, yeah, true. Next up, we've got the Mental Health Commission, and they are here, yes. Amazing. Hi everyone, my name is Samika. I'm one of the co-chairs of the Mental Health Commission. Just in terms of some of our updates, we held our first bi-weekly commission-wide meeting a couple of days ago. And I just wanted to reiterate that everyone here is always welcome at our commission meetings. We love to collaborate with all of you and see your lovely faces. There'll be Tuesdays from 5 to 6:30 bi-weekly this semester. So we're also been doing some wrapping up of recruitment for our new associates. We received a lot of interest this semester, so we're just working on hiring them, and they'll be all set and ready to go by this weekend. We also recently had some meetings with the team at the Disability Cultural Community Center, thanks to Senator Yang.
as well as some external speakers. We held our second stakeholder summit at the end of last semester. You all can keep a lookout for emails about our third one that's going to be in a few weeks. Also, during our week, we gave away some free caffeine health resources, matcha and coffee. We recently tabled at the psychology welcome night, and we also did Build-A-Bear at Healthpalooza earlier this semester. And moving into some upcoming events, I wanted to put on all of your radars that we have Mental Health Week 2026 finalized to be from April 27th to May 1st. I have an example kind of some of the programming that we did at our 2025 Mental Health Week here. Essentially, it's just a week filled with mental health related events. We have a big carnival at the end of it. And we just wanted to mention to all senators and anyone here, if you have any collaboration requests for events throughout Mental Health Week, we're currently full speed ahead with planning for it. So please reach out to mhc@asc.org if you have any requests at all or any ideas. We'd love to work with you. And in terms of some other upcoming events and collab requests, we have a basic needs supply giveaway and accessibility resource in the works. So if anyone is interested in collaborating on that, please reach out. As Allison mentioned earlier, we have a Lunar New Year event with HDAC coming up. And we also have a grief workshop upcoming. If anyone would like to collaborate with us on that, please reach out. And just in general, we wanted to put out there that we want to hear from all of you in terms of what workshops would benefit your communities, any organizations that you work with, or just the general student population that you'd like to see. In the past, we've hosted workshops like destigmatizing mental health in the Black community, undocumented student support, caregiver mental health panels, etc. So if you have any requests or anything that your community would like to see and would benefit from, please reach out to us as we are open to collaboration as always. And yeah, if anyone has any questions. Thank you all.
Thank you. Very exciting stuff. All right. Next up, we have the Sexual Violence Commission. All right, let's give them a round. Would it be at the ACC?
That's the second one. Oh,
No worries. Okay. What is it again? EVP at ACC.
Okay, there we go. Okay. So we've got a lot of like future events going on, so I think a little bit. Tomorrow, right here, 5 to 6:30, we're having this really cool public policy panel. It's called Deepfakes, Real Stakes. And we're talking about the potential and real risks of emerging technologies and addressing how AI is already influencing conventional code enforcement efforts. It's gonna be really cool. We've got a great speaker who's done a lot of really impressive work, and we're gonna be kind of interviewing her and doing a deep dive into this topic. So if you are interested, people in your office are interested, people you know are interested, your friend Joe is interested, show up. We're gonna be giving out documented DV resources this Valentine's Friday. Valentine's Day weekend is great, and it also can be kind of scary if you're not in safe relationships. We're gonna give out some resources for that. On not
next Wednesday, Wednesday after the 25th, we're launching a really cool resource. We hope you'll share through your channels. We're gonna do this survivor storytelling project. It's a Padlet where survivors can share their experiences, their resources, and then support one another. Posts are all anonymous, and we will monitor them, not so much for censorship, just to make sure like no one's using really outwardly like harmful language. But besides that, like it'll just be kind of like a survivor run page. And then on the 26th, we're partnering with Project Safe Web, which is an initiative coming out of USC. That's another tech focused like workshop we're doing. Our speakers are actually gonna be on Zoom, but we're gonna have both workshop here and via Zoom. So if you wanna join that, again, show up. It's about cybersecurity, and their mission is to raise awareness about human trafficking and cyber enabled trafficking. So we're addressing some big, scary issues this month. Upcoming, do you see the vision? I'm thinking denim day patches on the glade. I'm thinking everyone on the glade making denim day patches. I'm thinking everyone has a denim day patch and it's really cute. You know, like how everyone has the cute bags this year? Well, imagine those bags with a denim patch. You see what I'm seeing the vision? We love partners for this because we're thinking the more offices, the more RSOs we get involved, the more patches we'll make, the more awareness we'll create. We want this April to be the biggest April as far as SBSH prevention and awareness. So please email us if you'd like to partner with that. It's basically going to be like a cute crafting thing, but it has a lot of impact. So please email us. This is us. Thank you so much for your time. Hope you all stay so safe and healthy and fight the germs. Any questions? Yeah, forget that. Okay, awesome. Thank you so much, Dave. All right, next up we've got the health, but Shelby presented Health Advocates Commission's updates. So then we'll go ahead and move on to Disabled Students Commission, and they're joining us on Zoom today.
Hello, are you here? You want to stream soon?
Hi. Hello. Bon, are you there? Oh. Wait, can you try talking? We're trying to see if the audio is working. I think you're on mute. Oh, it's yes, we can hear you now. You can go ahead.
Okay, so.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, we can hear you. Can you share your slides again? Yeah, we're able to see your screen. Can you not hear us? Can you hear us? Oh. Okay, we can hear you. And yours.
starting. Um, thank you. Start. And dates for the disability information. I thank you so some updates are that DSC has released the rolling basis applications for students to join on our commission in spring 2026 semester. So students can fill out the form with the tiny right here. And we are rolling basis applications so students can join anytime. And we already had some new members join. And most of weekly Thursdays from 6:30 to 7:30 on Zoom. So, and the first meeting is actually tomorrow. And we will have a conference publicizing our application form with the notices. So we could reinforce we appreciate it, thank you. Now I will just talk about some updates regarding some new projects DSC is being working on. So one major project is that DSC has worked with the community organization board that is working with so there's the area application recreation and then they are virtually based and work on events across the area. So we worked with them on the proposal that was submitted to the Michigan Temporary Community Partnership Fund. And the proposal was for goals on commitments and clinics for community members who participating in vision disability on the Michigan campus. So DSC has corresponded corresponding application and coming feedback on the application and another update is DSC did public comments on it was selected for public comment after receiving meeting in November. We advocated with stating funding for disability services across UCs. And regarding this project, we plan to meet the campus departments and UC representative department soon. And another update is another project is DSC has challenge for some funds for and is looking feedback for the UC disability access and compliance. Their project on upcoming installation of new golf cart stop numbers, bail signage on the new golf cart benches across campus. So the new golf cart is our transportation system for students with disabilities and is installation of golf cart stop numbers planned to be done soon. So there's some updates with some of our projects. Thank you. Please do contact us at dsc@asusc.org for collaborations and comments. And our Instagram can DM us also with our Instagram. Thank you for allowing me to speak and sorry for technical issues. Thank you.
Any questions?
Great, now we'll be having our last commission, Menstrual Equity Commission present.
Hi, everyone. I'm Lisa. I'm the chair of the Master Equity Commission for this semester, taking over for Anna while she's abroad. So a few updates. We did a little December raffle to boost our platform since we are kind of like building up MEC again from the ground. We've been doing a lot of tabling, done some collabs with the American Women's Medical Association, we did the menstrual drive and sprawl with them. With Menarch, we did a menstrual product pass out on the sprawl. We're currently in the works with working with other orgs like Period Project and the ISIS and AMLA for some more future events and collabs. We also are doing an event with the YWCA tomorrow called Know Your Body, and they're bringing a bunch of middle schoolers in to like learn about like puberty and menstrual cycles, with a bunch of other reproductive orgs tabling there, so we'll be there. We'll also be on Sprawl, passing out menstrual hygiene goodie bags, on, for like Valentine's Day Friday. Yeah, and we're just reaching out to more external mental grants for donations, working with Period projects, to with the campus facility operations about keeping those dispensers filled. I know we've had some trouble lately, the dispensers aren't getting refilled, which is really frustrating because that's our entire mental equity. So we're trying to work with them, get that figured out. We'll also be collabing with ISIS for Callaway Survival Kit tabling on Sprout, that's not until April. Yeah, we would love to do any collaborations with any other commissions and or so DM us, or email us, yeah, thank you.
Hello. Everyone wants to argue reports, the finance team.
No, okay, not many updates, we just kind of had a regular FICOM meeting, but, what I did want to say was, Senator Mendez posted, a super important, finance related post that kind of walks through the contingency, so, it's posted on her Instagram and then me and Aiden's and I think CFO's, and then the FICOM centers will be like reposting it, so yeah, please share with your communities. It's super important, that they kind of know how to apply for contingency, and it's kind of a really good like walkthrough. Yeah, that's it.
Hi everyone, everything is normal. I sent you a detail with the information related to the 11 since the test on is going to be in court. So if you can make it so you know, but it's just like other people have used it in Europe and you're thinking about it. So if you have any issues with those words, we'll be discussing the logistics of it in our next few expo meetings. So if you want to be part of it,
I think that's something.
I'm handling announcements this week since Shuffle was enabled made the last week. So during the we reviewed two resolutions, which was SR 54 and SR 48. On 54, we made a minor amendment, but didn't really change the bill as a whole. In terms of SR 48, this was a much longer discussion regarding merit of state and face attendance for ex officio members at certain committees. And there was wide agreement that the local council is kind of this very separate entity from the ASUC. It should be more involved in the functioning of the association, as to kind of foster like greater understanding between the branches. However, some of the members did voice concerns over the kind of precedent that stipend-based reductions for ex officio members would create. So taking that into account, the voting members decided for the resolution to the Senate. Basically, under the agreement that specific amendments are introduced on the floor, rather than, and specifically rather than mandating that, the judicial council and to that new ex officio position and a stipend reduction, that we're changing the language to then be, based on the attendance at judicial council meetings themselves. So yeah, that's the long-winded explanation of it, that will also be the amendment going on the floor when we go over meetings. Thank you.
Thank you very much, everybody. All right, at this time, we'll go ahead and move on to public comment from the consent calendar and the consideration items. Is there anyone here for public comment on those two agendas? All right, then we'll go ahead and move on to our next attendance roll call before we vote on tonight's resolutions. So when you hear your name called, please indicate your presence, starting with Senator Musey. Senator Albright. Here. Senator Beardsley.
Here.
Senator Cannon.
Here.
Senator Cho. Not present. Senator Representative Miguel.
Here.
Senator Golshani.
Here.
Senator Maccaro.
Here.
Senator Maimon. Senator Mendez.
Here.
Senator Nunez Rivera. Not present. Senator Ugarte. Not present. Senator Sanchez.
Here.
Senator Scott. Not present. Senator Solomon.
Here.
Senator Stankovic. Not present. Senator Reading.
Here.
Senator Theron.
Here.
Senator Time.
Here.
Senator Schwer.
Here.
Senator Yang.
Here.
All right, this time we'll move on to the consent calendar. So is there a motion for tonight's consent calendar? We have minutes from last week, finance staff from last, or this week, and then resolutions and pay.
I motion to move, implementing a campaign timeline as our 54 to immediate consideration.
Okay, Senator Beasley moves to move item J as our 54 to immediate consideration. There's seconded by Senator Maimon. Any yeah.
Like, what is it? Can you remind us of what meeting, like, what's a person who uses consent probably to me?
Yeah, so if we move something from consent calendar to immediate consideration, essentially it's kind of like we're gonna discuss each of these more like individually. Consent calendar is like the committee's review and they kind of like forwarded it to Senate for approval without like for debate, but and then immediate consideration is like more for like opening discussing the. Okay, so we had a motion on the floor to move it. Is there any objections? All right, then we'll go ahead and move that item. To your position. Is there another motion on the floor?
Motion to approve the consent calendar.
Senator Beasley moves to approve the consent calendar items. Is there a second? Second by Senator Ty. Any objections? All right, seeing and hearing none, the consent calendar has been approved unanimously. Yay. Okay. Okay, so yeah, like I said, again, you know, I guess up to you guys how to do it. So is there a motion for?
I motion to open informal discussion on SR.
Senator Beasley moves to open formal discussion on item D, SR 54 column.
10 minutes.
10 minutes. Is there a second? Second by Senator Theron. Any objections? Seeing hearing none, go ahead. I think there's a microphone next to the center.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna pass the board over to Lino. Yeah. I mean, it's informal. We have to still use the informal.
It's for recording purposes.
No. Okay, and give me just 1 second.
Turn off the mic anytime.
Thanks.
Okay.
Okay, we just did this because we saw that the changes were not there, I think everyone else just added them. First.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, I think the version's the best now, so. Close.
I think.
They are. Okay, then I'm motion to exit informal discussion.
So moved by Senator Beardsley, there's a second. Second by Senator Solomon, any corrections? All right, so we exited, informal discussion, is there a motion on the floor?
Yes, I motion to enter informal discussion on. SR 48.
So moved by Senator Beardsley, is there a second? Second by Senator Kadan, any objection? Oh, how long did you say, 10 minutes?
10 minutes.
For 10 minutes, I'm sorry.
10 minutes, yes.
Okay, discussion.
Okay, so this is what I was talking about in my GovCon introduction, that I gave from our committee meeting. So I have the amendments for this bill, we need to amend it on the floor now. I sent the email over to admin with the updated version. So we can, I don't know how to best go about displaying the amendments, I can explain them, but do you need to show them on the board first?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you wanna send them to me as well?
Yes, I can do that right now. Which your ASUC email or your?
Yes.
Very briefly, just give an overview, so kind of touching back on what I said during the announcements. So the general change that we made from committee to now is that this has taken out many of the references to council chair, judicial council chair, attending the outcome as an ex officio, and basically having the stipend reduced if they would not attend those meetings. And it replaced it with judicial council members, and it changed the meeting instead of it being GovCon to be judicial council meetings, because we feel it's no penalty for not attending their own meetings, basically. So this is kind of just to help reinforce people actually attending those meetings and kind of be working and incentivizing that as a whole. Slight other changes. Another key point about this bill, we did change some of the language. I think Shelley can make it. No, she's not here. Okay, I can cover it. Basically just changing, if you go under to where it amends 1205. Okay.
Wait, and what?
Lower, next resolution down. Okay, great, 1.4.1, so this is also recommended by Shelby to change the verbiage, and basically you're going through how to excuse attendances for judicial council. So while we were going through this, she mentioned we should probably update the language to this. So this was Shelby's recommendation on the language, and this was also approved at the conference. It is now, yeah. So those are the bulk of the changes for the code. Thoughts, concerns? Great. Well, if we're all good, then we can go ahead and motion to exit informal discussion.
Senator Solomon moves to exit, is there a second? Second by Senator Yang. Any objections, and all those amendments will be reflected momentarily. All right, so we exited, is there a motion on the floor?
I motion to approve all items under the considerations.
Treasurer Representative Miguel moves to approve all items under the consideration. Is there a second? Seconded by Senator Raymond, any objection? Okay, Yeah, unanimously, okay, and then, we'll go ahead and move on to new business. SR 56 will be sent to University and External Affairs Committee this week. SR 57 will also be sent to, external. What is this, 2627, rather than the future? I'm gonna choose that, and then SR 58, will also be going to University and External, Affairs Committee. And then SR 6 also. We got, where's Jonathan's position?
That's next week.
Oh, sorry, okay. Yeah.
Did you approve the Wall Street resolution?
Yes, everyone who's voted for me, yes.
All the work.
Wait, I have a question. So what, since we don't have school on Monday, I mean, I'm not on next one, like, where do they go?
So it'll just be, at the next com. So not next week, it'll just be the week after, and then we'll see it at Senate that Wednesday.
After it goes to that.
Yeah, the 22nd, yeah. Okay, and then, yeah, SR 60 will also do it there. Okay. Great, all right, we'll go ahead and move on to send announcements now, so you all have 2 minutes to give brief updates about your office. All the usual rules apply, to can be yielded, all those things, then we go into it over here, you want to pass them to say. And then I'll tap my gavel when you guys are at 15 seconds away.
Nothing for me, I'm going to Shin next time, so, yeah.
Not a ton of updates from my office this week, except for the very large bill that we just put up, so happy that passed. And then aside from that, we did interviews this last week for new members to the office, or we started this week, so that's super fun. Very much looking forward to the new team and getting to work on more resolutions. So yeah, thank you.
Hey guys, probably just gonna use my time, yeah, it's people I get you on, so.
I don't see you one.
Damn, I hope you guys have a great weekend. Have a good night.
You two wanted to plug my very bigger metal Wednesday, but yeah, I would my time.
I love my time too, but we have our challenge children on Friday, 50 people to try and work guys.
No, I believe. We're gonna recognize that, so. Thank you everyone who came, Monday, I move to recognize Elizabeth Pena for 2 minutes for announcement.
Yes, can you just email the spelling to, Senate Admin Assistant and for 2 minutes, you said? Okay, and then seconded by Trustee Representative Miguel. Any objections? All right.
Hi, everybody. I'm so sorry I'll make this really quick, but thank you everybody for staying. My name is Elizabeth Pena and I currently serve as the Undocumented Community Affairs Subdirector in Senator Ventus's office, and my team and I are organizing a student rally or public demonstration for this upcoming Monday, which is on President's Day, from 3 to 6 p.m. on Upper Sprout. So the purpose of this demonstration is that we want to hold space to recognize the different intersections of the diverse communities that we belong for this, and that are affected differently from the Trump administration. We want to be completely transparent that the reason for this demonstration is not solely focused on ICE or immigration, because we all will collectively come as a community to go against all these attacks. So far, we are in collaboration with Senator Limon, Simone, and Berkeley Free Collective, who will be donating 150 water bottles for students. Students for Socialism, Latino Caucus, and Brown Issues. I have contacted other senators and orgs, but I'm still waiting to hear from them, especially Students for Justice in Palestine, QR, which Senator Reading, I don't know if you want to get in contact with that. Inc. and Innisy. Additionally, we have a poster making and writing a representatives workshop this Friday, February 13th, from 7 to 8 p.m. in Assembly Lounge. And we appreciate your help in promoting it when the flyers posted. Since this demonstration is happening on Monday, we are really stretching on time, and we're asking for all hands on deck for more awareness and getting out. I would appreciate it if the ACC could help promote the demonstration, and then we're reaching out to find passionate public speakers. Additionally, if anyone here would like to speak at the demonstration, or would love further details, you can contact me or Senator Mendez directly. And that's all I have. Thank you so much, everybody. Okay, quick little thing for me, I promise I'll keep it short. I just wanted to bring to everybody's attention that a recent lawsuit has been filed targeting student resource centers for grants and scholarships that support the Black, the Latina, Indigenous, and undocumented students at UC Berkeley. I just want to say that these communities remain deeply underrepresented and historically excluded and underserved in institutions like this. I just wanted to bring this awareness. You guys were working in collective action with other senators. I just wanted to inform you guys can inform your communities and to continue supporting your community resource centers, programs, and scholarships. Thank you.
Thank you. Alright, so with that, we'll do final roll call in 3 minutes, so your name call, please, if you're present, or Senator Music. Not here, Senator Alright. Senator Briefly. Here. Senator Cannon. Here. If you're making a minute, talking until then, just to be here. Senator Cannon. Here, Senator Joe, not here, Senator Joe.
Here.
Senator Bofani. Here. Senator Navarro. Senator Raymond.
Here.
Senator Mendez. Here. Senator Diaz-Vera. Not present. Senator Rodarte. Not present. Senator Santos. Here. Senator Scott. Not present. Senator Vaughn. Here. Senator David Beek. Not present. Senator Gay.
Here.
Senator Dunn. Senator Dunn. Senator Ty. Here. Senator Schwinn. Here. Senator Yang. There are motions to adjourn. Senator Yang moves to adjourn. Is there a second? Seconded by Senator Mendez. Any objections? This meeting is adjourned at 10:04 p.m. So, oh, yeah, you're cheaper, I was sorry. I think you could tell me to go with things, so. Right.